SS Buenaventura. We are encountering south winds, 140 knots, mountainous seas estimated at up to 50 feet and torrential rains.
Miami Monitor, Gulf 59 is progressing between feeder bands toward Fiddler Key. Be advised that we have observed flight level winds of 155 knots. We are estimating the eye at 1825 Zulu. Over.
Gulf 59, Miami Monitor, copied all, over.
Weather, this is Drop. Approaching the storm. Coordinates are 30.3 north, longitude 87.5 west, ETA 1825 Zulu.
Drop weather. Be ready to drop at 1825 Zulu. You're in the eye.
Request permission to drop, sir.
Pilot to weather. Everything clear on radar. Roger. Drop weather. Release now.
Instrument out. Receiving good signal.
Miami Weather Monitor, Gulf 59.
The actual direction of Hurricane Ella has now become less stable and more unpredictable. This is one of the most devastating storms to come along in years. At this time, estimates of damage already inflicted by Hurricane Ella are running into the millions. Power failures have been reported in several cities along the west coast of Florida. Tidal surges are reported everywhere. Even as I bring you this bulletin, there are no communications at all into the Athens area, while Fiddler Key and its companion offshore islands are reported to be under 15 feet of water and are being battered by 130-mile-an-hour winds. The National Hurricane Center in Miami reports a massive evacuation has been underway with assistance from the county sheriff's department. Efforts have been severely hampered by high winds and rising floods. Several causeways are jammed with people trying to escape from the Keys. Palm trees and debris are blowing everywhere, knocking in store windows and creating dangerous conditions for motorists trying to find shelter. Piers and marinas are collapsing one after another as waves continue to pound the coast. We can only hope that this devastating hurricane has reached its peak.
End of Florida.
No, but I've been looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's some kind of good living down there.
Yeah, I guess.
We'll be going in now.
Welcome to sunny Florida, Sam.
Pat, I'm glad you're here.
How you doing?
Fine. You? I'm squeezing by, you know me. Good. My car's outside, come on.
Mr. Harrison, might need this.
I got that. Thanks for a nice, smooth flight, Charlie.
My pleasure. Take care now.
All right, we'll see you again.
God, it's good to see you.
Now tell me how Carrie's doing.
Well, she's still alive, thank God. That's about it. It's been 2 weeks since the stroke, and still no change.
Well, what'd the doctor say?
But it's still too early to tell. You remember how vital, how alive she used to be.
Yeah.
Well, she can't talk and she can't move.
Well, I came as soon as I heard the news. I don't know why in the hell you didn't send me a wire. If I hadn't run into old Jake Scott down there in that bar in Jakarta, I'd never known nothing was wrong.
Well, I should have. I'm sorry. I was underwater. She's really going to be happy to see you.
Well, let's go see her.
Look, I'll take you over to see our nest first. You get cleaned up. She's still in intensive care, and they're pretty hard-nosed about visiting hours.
Right? Not exactly in the class with the pyramids, but close.
As soon as I get you settled, I've got to go to a meeting.
What kind of a meeting?
Oh, Homeowners Association. I'm on the board.
You, a joiner?
Yeah, it's a matter of protecting my investment.
How do you mean?
Management fees, maintenance costs, heavy assessments. I thought I ought to know who was spending how much on what and why.
That sounds reasonable, but why would you have to join the board for that?
Well, you've never lived in a condo. The owners run the association, and it's a real zoo. The way they act, God knows how some of them ever made money enough to retire here in the first place.
Well, it sounds to me like retirement really doesn't fit you.
I'll tell you, I've learned some very important things here in the last several months.
Such as?
Retirement is an activity which is suitable only for the very young. Hello, Mrs. Conlaw. How are you?
Just fine, thank you. Oh, Mr. Garver.
Yes?
Well, I don't want to be a nuisance, but it's the hold button.
The hold button?
Yes, in the elevators. You see, certain people press it to keep the door open so they get their shopping in and out. And then they forget to release it, and some of us are left upstairs. And we either have to wait an hour or we have to walk down the stairs. And, well, it just isn't fair.
No, you're quite right. I understand, Mrs. Conlaw. I've had to wait myself several times.
Then you'll do something about it?
I'll sure try, Mrs. Conlaw.
Thank you, Mr. Garver.
Don't laugh. You take your first shower in that fountain out there. Bye.
He has been running now for a whole 20 minutes. 20.
So?
It isn't exactly what one would call hot, is it? I mean, warm maybe, but hot, no.
So?
So when one buys a condominium for the price of this one, a building that claims to have hot water, isn't it reasonable that one should expect to get hot water? And if you give me that so, one more time, I will not be responsible for what will happen to you.
Mrs. Churchbridge.
If you don't wipe that stupid smile off your face, you sporca miseria, faccia bruta, mentecato, stupidaccio. So, what are you going to do about it?
About what?
Oh, sporca miseria, about the hot water that never gets hot.
Well, there's nothing I can do, Mrs. C.
What do you mean? Huh?
Well, whether you have hot water or not has nothing to do with me. You'll have to take it up with your owners' association.
For why? Aren't you the manager?
Of course.
Of course. And my husband and I, don't we help pay for your salary?
No, ma'am. You pay for management. They pay my salary.
And this management pays you to keep the owners happy here, isn't that right?
Well, not so as you notice. I mean, I don't work for you people. I work for Gulfway Management. And Gulfway's got a 20-year contract to manage this place whether you like it or not.
And
Gulfway's the people I gotta please.
And Gulfway has to please us. Otherwise, what do we pay them for?
Don't ask me. I just work here. And there's no use getting uptight about it, Mrs. C.
All you rich people can't do anything about me or my wife. We know you hate us, like us to quit, too, but we ain't gonna. And if you don't like it, you can go to hell.
Ah! Put them up! Put them up, you chicken! Put it up! Right now! Put them up!
Julian!
Yeah?
I think you better leave. Before my sweet wife forgets her rather aristocratic upbringing and does you some bodily harm.
Sure thing, Mr. C. I'm on my way.
You lo mazzo, Enrique, huh? You lo mazzo. I'm glad you think this is funny.
Not funny, my love. Just not worth getting upset about. Dinner.
Making a service call, Julian? Who is it?
Guess. Same as you, Nursey. Maybe you're forgetting who started this.
You haven't lost your touch, Chief. You still make a mean drink.
Thanks. Well, what do you think, Sam?
I think the little lady's got you tamed down.
Oh, you mean the decor? Yeah, I guess it is more hers than mine. Then I owed it to her. You know, Sam, when you knock around the world the way we do, building things in one godforsaken place after another, it's really no life for a woman.
I guess you're right.
And then after a while, you figure, enough's enough. You owe her some.
She really likes it here?
Oh, she loves it. She loves everything about it. She was so happy.
Easy, huh?
Oh, yeah, you know, it took us 4 months to find this place. We explored the whole coast, almost inch by inch, then it took her another month to get everything just exactly right. You should have seen her bargain hunting, haggling over drapes, pictures, and lampshades. And she'd no sooner got it finished, right down to the last ashtray, when it happened. It's funny, isn't it?
She's gonna be fine. You just gotta believe it.
Yeah, I know. You're right. I guess I've just been alone too much these last few weeks. I'm glad you're here, Sam.
I am, too.
Hey, I'm gonna be late.
I thought you said your meeting wasn't for another half hour.
But it's a board meeting. Why don't you get cleaned up and come in for the full meeting? I promise you, it'll be worth it.
You got a board meeting first. Well, I can't wait to drop this on a few of your buddies.
Well, you go ahead and laugh. Your time will come. I'll see you.
Are you a new owner?
No, I'm not. I'm a guest of Mr. Garver's. He invited me to sit in.
Oh, I don't know. This is a meeting of the Owners Association.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it. I have top secret clearance from the Department of Defense. It'll be okay.
Telling you, Doris, this whole thing is a stupid waste of time.
Please, Frank.
Mr. and Mrs. Branham.
What the hell are you doing?
Recording who has checks.
Why? You think we're gonna walk off with him or something?
Of course not. It's just an official record.
Then stop acting like some shrimp-sized quartermaster.
You don't have to be so rude.
Give me them chairs.
Frank, please.
Shut up, Doris.
I happen to be a
lost.
sergeant at arms.
This Bramhammer is a peasant. Him I do not like.
Join the club, Mrs. Churchbridge.
I have. It's only because he feels out of place here.
It's because he is out of place, Thelma. People like him belong in trailer camps.
Trailer camps. Not very democratic of you, Mr. Mescott.
Democratic? Why, I've been a registered Republican all my life.
Dave, will you pass these out now?
Mr. Reeves? Yes, Mr. Chairman? Looks like we're all here now. Would you mind closing the door, please?
Honey, you better put out your cigarette. You're not supposed to smoke during the meeting.
The meeting hasn't started yet, Thelma.
Extinguish the cigarette, Mr. Menson Carter. The rules prohibit smoking at the meeting. It's a stupid rule. Either extinguish the cigarette or leave the room.
Hey, will you get off his case, you damn toy soldier? Who the hell are you to be giving us orders?
Please.
Shut up, Doris.
Pete, let's get this thing going before it gets out of hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? Quiet, everyone! Quiet, please. Thank you. I now call this meeting of the Silver Sands Condominium Association to order. As you know, this is a special meeting called to discuss the enormous and unexpected increase in our assessment. Now, this is obviously a very serious matter which affects all of us. Therefore, I will entertain a motion that we dispense with the usual procedure of reading of the minutes of the last meeting at this time.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Good. Now let us proceed to the matter.
Just one damn minute here.
Mr. Brandhammer, will you please sit down? You're out of order.
Are you saying we ain't going to talk about none of that stuff you and the educated brains put in the minutes? What are you guys trying to cover up?
We're not trying to cover up anything, Mr. Brandhammer. What you're referring to goes under the heading of old business, which will be discussed at our next regular meeting. Now, will you please sit down?
Now, look.
Oh, Frank, please stop.
Shut up, Doris.
Don't knock it off, Brandhammer. We're here to discuss something
let's
important.
discuss something.
All right, sit down.
Will you shut up with that thing?
Pay attention.
These, figures are rather disturbing.
To all of us, Mr. Churchbridge.
Yeah, well then, why did you guys on the board let this happen?
We guys didn't let this happen. As you all know, the first board was controlled by the developers headed by Mr. Liss. They negotiated the maintenance and service contracts before they withdrew and before we took control.
Which means that, we're stuck with these deals.
That's about it.
Thanks to you guys, it's going to cost all of us maybe 3 times more than they told us it would when we bought in here.
Leave out the thanks to you guys. You got it.
We elected you to run this place for us. And this is what happens.
Look, we are all in the same boat.
Huh? Is it supposed to make us feel better?
We may all be in the same boat, but who cut the hole in the bottom, you stupid jerk?
Look, I don't have to let this happen to me. I don't let this happen to me anytime, anywhere, by anybody. I've had it with you people. I resign. Now have yourself a nice meeting.
Look, hold it. Just calm down, everybody. Relax till I get back. Pete!
Now look, I have gone over these figures very carefully.
Buddy, you can stick those figures.
I'm Sergeant at Arms, and you'll have to watch your language, or I'm gonna...
Or what?
Or I'm gonna have to escort you out of here.
Escort me?
Yes.
Ah, you're gonna escort me?
Oh, Frank, please stop. Hey.
All right,
Knock it off. Sit down.
Crying out loud.
Folks, I'm sorry I wasn't able to persuade Pete McGinnity to change his mind. But I can't really blame him that much. Being on this board is a miserable, thankless job. However, until the board elects another chairman, I'll do my best to fill in for Pete, at least for this meeting.
Here.
Thank you. Now, I have a suggestion that might save us a lot of time and argument. This increase that we're facing in our assessment, before we try to figure out how to pay it, why don't we find out if we have to pay it?
What choice do we have?
She's right. Legally, we have to pay it. It says so in the sales contract. Owners are responsible for all assessments.
Yes, but I'm not arguing with the contract. All I'm suggesting is that we, the board that is, go and have a talk with Mr. Liss.
What good will that do?
I believe that Mr. Liss, as a developer, deliberately underestimated our monthly overhead in order to make the units more saleable. Now, if we can convince him that we're on to him, that we're not going to pay it without a fight, he might absorb some of our costs. After all, he and the bank that holds the mortgage on this building, they can't really cope with all of us refusing to pay anything at all.
Oh, that would be highly irregular.
Yeah, it could get us all evicted, too.
Now how evicted? What are they going to do with all these apartments if they evicted everybody?
Hold it down, everybody. Right now, I'd like to entertain a motion. I'd like to recommend... Did you have a question, Mrs. Conlaw?
Well, I don't want to be a nuisance.
No, that's all right. Go right ahead.
Well, it's the heater.
The heater?
Yeah, for the swimming pool. You see, if we turn the heater down in the wintertime, it would not only save on our gas bill, but wear and tear on the pool as well. Because, you see, if the water is cooler, less people will be using it.
Why, you crazy old bat, what has that got to do with that?
Brownhammer, knock it off, will you? You're absolutely right, Mrs. Conlaw. Turning down the heater a few notches would save on our gas bill. As a matter of fact, why don't you bring that up at our next regular meeting, and we'll see if we can do something about it.
Thank you, Mr. Garber.
All right. Now, to get on with it, I'd like to entertain a motion that the board make an appointment to see Mr. List as soon as possible.
So move.
Second. All right. All in favor? Raise your hand. And remember, only one vote to an apartment. Well, we don't have to count heads on that one, all right? The motion is carried. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, so move. I got a tennis date I'm late for.
All in favor?
All right. Bring your chairs. Bring your chairs, everybody. Please, would you please all bring your chairs? Please bring your chairs to the back of the room.
Very interesting. Very interesting, just like you promised.
Don't say a word. Don't say a word. I know what I'm letting myself in for, Sam. You take this meeting. We got a crisis, and only 20% of the owners even bother to show up.
Hey, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. Besides, you're too old for a babysitter anyway.
You're right. Let's grab some chow and then go see Carey.
You got a deal. I'll buy you a drink.
Put in a collect call to Miami. The number is 555-1012. Tell him it's his mother calling. Hello, Sonny? How are you? Oh, that's nice. Yes, everything is just fine. Yes, I'm calling from a phone booth, just like I always do. Oh, we had a real fun meeting of the Owners Association today. I'm not sure. Something about costs. And I gave them a simply terrific idea. You would have really been proud of me. Well, you see, I told them that if they would turn the heater down on the pool,
things, computers. Just think, when the Rothschilds started out, they had nothing to work with but couriers on horseback. Very primitive.
But effective. And speaking of effective, why are you doing my job instead of resting like you're supposed to?
Because I'm bored with resting. And I don't feel exactly great. Thought I needed something to take my mind off myself for a while.
Pain bad?
Maybe grade 2.
Want a shot?
For a lousy grade 2, I'm tougher than that. That's just the life. Sun, warmth, peace, quiet, and a beautiful and exciting woman to tend to my every need. What more could a man want? How'd the meeting go?
Perfectly awful. McGinnity quit, and poor Gus grabbed the wheel and will probably go down with the ship.
Bad as that, huh?
Worse. Seems that Mr. Marty List, the genius who built this place, is rather shifty, to say the least. Anyway, it looks as if we're all going to get stuck for triple assessments.
What'll that come to? About $700 or $800 a month?
Give or take.
Well, we can always sell a painting or something. You don't want to sell the family heirlooms?
Well, I don't admire you being snide about it, Lee.
Who's being snide?
You are.
Just because we can afford 10 or 20 or whatever times that amount doesn't do the other owners a whole lot of good. And people like them are living mostly on a fixed income. Now, this increase could really kill them.
I see. Kill as in dead, you mean?
Don't you dare use that self-pity ploy. Not on me, pal.
I'm sorry, it just slipped out. Probably because I'm not fond of being the object of your righteous indignation.
Better mad than sad, you once said.
I did, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Well, is Gus going to be able to fix things?
Oh, I doubt it. All he can do is start an owner's revolt, get everyone to refuse to pay their assessments.
Could be very effective.
Want to bet? It won't work unless there's total support. All you need are a couple of owners panicking over being evicted, and the whole game plan blows up in his face. Lee, isn't there anything we can do?
The trouble with you nouveau riche broads is you want to use that good green money to do in the bad guys.
So what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that, my own sweet love, is that when people like us start to play God with other people's lives, it's hard to stop. I may be very rich, darling, but I also like to believe I'm not arrogant about it.
Is that bad? You want that shot now?
Only a few minutes now, Mr. Garver.
Hi, Mouse. Look who I brought all the way from Indonesia. Hi, pretty lady. I know you don't like housework, but that's about the size of it. I borrow this beautiful new condo with all the fancy time-saving gizmos, because I won't spring for a maid. She goes on strike, right? Right. You see, honey, I told you Sam would see through your little game. And how? That's not gonna work. I didn't learn all those fancy disco steps just so you'd flake out on me now.
I'm sorry. You must go now.
Goodbye, Mouse. Don't worry. This ugly character's gonna be around for a couple of weeks. You can count on that. So I want you to dig out your dancing shoes. You understand, sunshine? You and I got a date.
Please, you really must go.
Struck down. She was always so animated, so vital, and so full of life. She will be again, Gus. Oh, that's easy to say, Sam, but Dr. Castor, have you got a minute? No more than that, Mr. Garver. Well, I just wanted to know if you had any additional information about my wife's condition.
If I did, I assure you, you would be informed.
Well, I was just asking. After all, I have a right to know.
Of course you do. Just as every relative of every patient in this hospital does. If we spent all our time reassuring relatives, we'd never get any work done, would we?
Well, now, just a damn minute, Dr. Castor.
Now, Mr. Garver, we're doing everything we can for her. If you're not satisfied with that, you're always free to take her elsewhere. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Dr. Kelly Base Station. Dr. Kelly Base Station.
Well, how the hell do you handle that? Oh, nobody ever said it'd be easy, Sam.
Or fair. If it was, I wouldn't be facing 2 weeks of your cooking.
It's been a long time, Gus. Yeah, 20 years. Give or take a minute.
Yeah. You know, I'm still trying to figure out why you and Carey take a Orphan kid out of an Oklahoma oil field and sent him through college with your own money. Why'd you do that?
Well, I thought you had a lot going for you, Sam, if it could be developed. What the hell? Everybody makes mistakes.
Oh, thanks a lot. You know, I swore someday I wanted to be exactly like you.
Well, there's your problem. No ambition.
Come on, I'm trying to be serious for a change. I mean, here we are 20 years later. I've got no involvements, no relationships. Got a pretty good job. Got more money than I know what to do with. Been all over the world. And I have had some good times. And I plan on having a lot more.
You just can't stop needling me, can you?
That's right. I mean, here you are, my hero. Retired too soon. Stuck in this place. You got a sick wife. You're all involved with this lousy condo association. But you want to know something?
What?
I still envy you.
You're drunk.
I'm not drunk, but I'm working on it.
Okay, I'll get him. What the hell's so funny?
I'm sorry, but watching you do your Boy Scout number on Duffy was quite a sight.
Yo, consider I just saved your dog. You could be a little appreciative.
Saved him? Boy, Duffy can swim like a fish.
Oh, he can. Well, then would you mind telling me what you were screaming about?
Oh, I just don't like him to go in the water. He's such a mess when he comes out. Well, look, see for yourself. Look at him.
Yeah. Well, I hope the rest of my day goes better than it started. It's nice meeting you both.
Hey! Hey! You didn't give me a chance to apologize.
Oh, if anybody owes me an apology, it's Duffy.
You're rather hostile, aren't you?
Oh, usually before breakfast. Now, for example, if you have dinner with me tonight, you'd notice a big difference.
I'm sorry, I'm not free.
How about tomorrow?
Oh, no, you see, I'm married.
It's my mistake. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it was a perfectly reasonable offer, and under other circumstances, I would be... Oh, no, Duffy!
Would you like me to save him again?
Oh, don't bother. He's already as messy as he can get.
Well, so am I. I might as well join him.
You go in your house till I get a chance to clean you up.
Sophia.
Guess again.
Raquel.
Sorry. Try Barbara.
Barbara will do very nicely.
She better. She's all you're getting, friend.
Where's Duffy?
Sulking in his crate again.
How's the market doing?
Industrials are up 1.12. Rails up 0.69. Utilities up 1.14. Stocks 101. Trading is steady.
Price of gold?
Down $25. Oh, and Bradhurst in London called. He says that De Beers will have a site ready for him to buy tomorrow. Around the $2 million mark. Now, he thinks that's a bit steep.
Tell him to buy no matter what the price. With an estimated 30 years of digging left, diamonds can only go up.
Will do. I'll get breakfast now. Oh, what a terrific day.
You and Duffy have a good run this morning?
Mm-hmm.
You look especially radiant. But maybe something exciting happened.
At 7 a.m. on the beach?
Yes, Mrs. Dodds. I'll have Julian look into it just as soon as he gets in. Yes, I know this is the third time you've called. Yes, it will be taken care of today. Right, bye. You know, Julian, you better start doing some work around here. The owners are not going to hold still much longer.
Well, as long as I got an in with Sully over Gulfway, what can they do? Huh? Sully doesn't give a damn whether I give him service or not. Just keep him off my back.
Why, so you can just keep working for the ones who pay you on the side?
That's right. The sooner they get the message, the more bread we'll be making. You want to come up for a while?
What's the matter? Isn't your nurse available today?
Cole, is that it's going to cost me 30% more to build a carbon copy of the Silver Sands project. Huh?
That's exactly it, Marty. My costs go up, your price goes up.
So if the boys in Miami insist on going ahead, the Harbor Point project will total out around $20 million. I don't like it. It's too risky.
Why? It costs you 30% more, you sell it for 30% more. Comes out even.
The problem is, Cole, the buyers of the new condo may not have 30% more to spend.
But you've already got the land. In a couple of years, it'll cost you 50% more.
Well, there's that, too, isn't there? Well, it's Miami's decision anyway.
Now, don't forget, if we're going to do this thing, we're going to need 2 permits. One to clear the land and one to do the dredge and fill.
Plus getting the density ordinance changed again.
No sweat. Denver knows exactly what we need. He says he can slip them through so fast that the environmental nuts will never know what happened.
And when they do?
There'll be some screaming, the usual stuff. But so what? Cole will have the land cleared off by then, and it'll be too late for them to do anything about it. Yes?
The Silver Sands Homeowners Committee have arrived. Shall I send them in?
All right, you have them wait. I'll be right with them.
Yes, sir.
Now, you know what I have on my hands? Angry homeowners from the Silver Sands project to stroke. When I hear something about those permits, I'll let you know.
Good enough. See you. Bye, Drew.
Bye. If they get a load of this, it won't help a whole lot.
Oh, how right you are. I think we ought to tape this meeting, too. There might be some threats.
You think so?
Well, I don't know. Mild ones, maybe. I can't blame them for being sore. They've probably read through and seen how low our original figures were.
What can they do about it?
Well, nothing legally. But a lot of noise right now could hurt that Harbor Point project. So I better do what I can to try to keep them as happy as I can.
Well, if you need any help, darling.
You think you can help?
Of course, they're men, aren't they?
Send them in, please.
Just to get your motor started.
I like that.
Mr. Garver?
Well, if it isn't my favorite board members.
Hello, Miss Bliss.
Well, I'm so happy to see you all again.
Well, I hope you feel that way when you know why we're here.
Well, why shouldn't I? After all we've been through together? I mean, I'm starting to feel like one of the Three Musketeers. You know, one for all and all for one and... Say, by the way, where is Pete McGinnity?
Well, he quit yesterday. But I'm the acting president of the association.
I see. Well, come on in. Make yourselves comfortable. Martha? Drew, would you bring in coffee for the folks? Well, this is such nice weather we're having this time of the year. You know, I was just telling Drew...
Get right down to business, Mr. Liss. It's not exactly a social call.
Well, you betcha. But before you do, let me say something. Although I developed Silver Sands, and I'm as proud of it as if it were my own child, I no longer have any legal or financial connection with it whatsoever. However, since it is a dream of mine that came true, I'd gladly advise the board, whoever is on it.
Very generous of you, Mr. Liss.
Marty, now come on now, we're all friends, right?
Well, if that's the case, perhaps you'd be friendly enough to explain exactly why that original assessment of yours was so far out of line. Mr. Dow here has the figures.
Some coffee, Mr. Garber?
I'd rather have some answers, Miss Byrne.
And you shall have some answers, Mr. Garber. We'll have to go way back. The initial estimate came from the original feasibility study. And at that time, 4 years ago, Fiddler Key had a density factor of 30 units per acre. But the planning board convinced the county commission to reduce that area to 20 units per acre. Now, with a 1/3 reduction in allowable occupancy, obviously, remaining units had to pick up the cost. And unfortunately, we never revised the original figures.
No, and that was my oversight. I was so busy trying to make sure that the new owners had everything they needed that I completely forgot to revise the assessment, for which I apologize to you.
And, of course, the lower figures made the units easier to sell, didn't it?
Are we here to make childish accusations, Mr. Garber, or are we here to try to solve a problem?
Gus is not making an accusation, Mr. Liss. He's stating a fact. But even the change in the density factor doesn't entirely cover the increase.
That's right. Most of it comes from the service and maintenance contracts we're stuck with.
Oh, come on now. That was the decision of the...
And it was under your control when that decision was made. That was before we took over.
Now, just wait 1 minute.
You wait a minute. What would happen, Mr. Liss, if we all suddenly decided to just stop making any payments?
Well, you can't do that.
Why not?
You'd be evicted, for one thing.
We might. But that would mean that somebody didn't mind picking up the legal costs for 200 evictions and 200 empty apartments.
Perhaps if Marty and I have more time to look into this, we might come up with some solution.
No guarantee, of course.
Anything at all to be a help, Mr. Liss.
Well, you know I'll try, gentlemen. So now, if there is nothing else, well...
But there is. You can call Gulfway Management and tell Sullivan to replace Higbee with a manager who's willing to give us the service that we pay for. Someone who's reasonably polite. That clown has antagonized practically everybody in the building.
Drew, make a note of that. Well, I can't promise you anything, but I'll try. Well, if you'll excuse me, gentlemen, I've run out of time.
Well, we'll be in touch, Mr. Liss.
Mm-hmm.
This way, Mr. Garber. Thank you. That Gus Garber doesn't fool around, does he?
An owner's revolt. That's all I need. My God, Drew, do you know that the boys in Miami have Gulfway Management in one pocket and all those mortgages in another? And if those people stop paying, I'm going to have to get out of town?
Marty, they wouldn't dare. They've got their lives in hock for those apartments. Where are they going to go?
I don't know.
I think that what you need is a little loving to take your mind off your problems. Hmm?
You know what I need? I need to fix that Julian Higbee, but good. I mean, screwing people is one thing, but getting them angry is just plain stupid. Get Miami on the phone.
Right now?
Right now.
One of these days, Marty-less, your dedication to greed is going to be the death of me.
Well, just as long as it isn't the death of me.
It's just an old shilling. I found it while I was working on a breakwater down in Australia.
I'll bet.
No, it was Australia. I remember the job was going south.
I mean, you didn't drop it. I've been watching you from back there. What are you, some kind of building inspector or something?
No, I'm a guest.
Who's?
Gus Garver's in 5C.
Wait a minute.
Hey, you wouldn't have liked Australia. You put your hand where it's not wanted down under and it'll come back a bloody stump. It's nice talking with you. Hi, Gus.
Hey, always in time for lunch, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
I'll have you know it takes a lot of engineering skill to build a sandwich like that. There you go.
And a lot of guts to eat one like that.
Grab a couple of beers. I won't tell you about that meeting.
You know, I bet it didn't go all that great, did it?
Well, that depends. Liz doesn't want any trouble. You know something? If we've got him convinced that we all might go on strike, I think he's going to do something about it.
Maybe. But if he's as shady as I think he is, I don't think he can take too much heat.
That's exactly the way I had him figured. You've never met this guy, though. You hear something about him?
No. But no legit developer would have cut the kind of corners he did when he built this place.
Hey, wait a minute. It's not first class, but then nothing is these days. It's not that bad.
It's not? You ever take a real good look at it?
Well, I haven't seen core samples, if that's what you mean.
Well, when you get through stuffing your face, you and I are going to take a little walk. I got a couple things I'd like to show you. You might have overlooked them while you were falling in love with the view. Feel that. Feel how sandy that is? Specifications call for Class A concrete. This is a skimpy pour, Gus.
Yeah.
The cement content in this building's probably 4 bags per yard instead of 6. Look around here. You got surface voids, you got leakage stains, joint marks, fins. You got the works in this building. Look at this.
Yeah, stone pockets. Foundation's probably riddled with them. It's shoddy work, but even so, this place probably exceeds the safety specs by at least 20%. Hi, Thelma.
Hi, Gus.
I want you to meet a friend of mine, Sam Harris. This is Thelma Mensencott.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
You headed for another trip into your jungle?
There's so much to learn about nature. I grew up in New York, and this is a whole new world for me. It's unspoiled, untouched. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it must be.
Well, I have to go now. Nice meeting you, Mr. Henson.
Nice meeting you, Mrs. Mensencott. It's interesting.
Yeah, she's a sweet kid. Her husband's a real jock. He's a tennis freak. So she wanders around in there all the time.
A tennis jock married to a nature nut. See, things like that, Gus, that's what keeps me single. Well, let's get back to business. When you're a civil engineer, you're guilty of complacency.
No contest. What can I tell you? Carrie was so in love with her condominium that, well, I just didn't have a heart to say anything against it.
Well, I wouldn't feel too bad. You know what they say about doctors being bad patients? I guess engineers can be just as bad.
Yeah, I guess, but there's no consolation in it.
Well, if you really want to feel bad, there's a lot more I can show you. Come on.
didn't mean to frighten you, but...
You did. You shouldn't creep up on people like that.
And you shouldn't wander around this place unescorted. There are a lot of crazy people in the world. Perverts, muggers, rapists, just waiting to molest and kill anyone they can.
Nonsense. Nobody around here is like that. Now, if you don't mind, I have work to do. So please leave me alone.
Well, hello. I thought I heard some voices.
I was, just telling Mrs. Mensincott how dangerous it is to be roaming around out here alone.
It is? Why?
Well,
In this instance, aren't you being a shade overly cautious, Ames?
That's what I said.
I'm sorry you don't appreciate my concern for your welfare. All of you.
We do, Ames. But I think you're overdoing it. I mean, we're not children. We're perfectly capable of taking care of ourselves.
I see. All right. Suit yourselves.
Ames, he takes himself so seriously. I think maybe I've upset him.
Never mind him. Come see what I found. It's a butterfly orchid. They usually only grow in the Everglades.
Oh.
Isn't it beautiful?
My, that is beautiful. In fact, this whole place is just charming.
No one else thinks so.
Well, that's their loss. And our secret. Well, the fish are waiting. Enjoy yourself.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Forrester. Mrs. Forrester! Mrs. Forrester, you're not listening to what I am saying. Julian cannot fix the unit without the actual part. No. It's still on back order. Yes, I know exactly how you feel, believe me. Yes, it will be done. It will be done. Right. Right. Okay, bye-bye. Vic, let go of me.
Hey, Lori, honey. What kind of friendly greeting is that? Where's your old man?
Why would he want with him?
It seems he got a lot of people sore at him. Now I gotta teach him some respect.
Figures. I told him he couldn't keep going around acting that way. But you know Julian. Who does he ever listen to? How bad you gotta hurt him?
Oh, no hospital, kid. Not like that. Ain't no big thing.
Would it help Julian?
No way, Lori, honey. Nothing personal. Just taking care of business.
What kind of business?
Hey! Well, if it isn't Mr. Julian Higby himself. Hey, you and me, kid, we gotta have a little talk. Hello. Bye.
Boy, Vic, am I glad to see you.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's something Sully and the boys should know.
I'll bet.
Oh, wait a minute. You gotta listen.
You gotta listen to me. We talk later. First, we take care of business.
What business?
You made a lot of the owners real mad at you, and it ain't the first time either. Now, they all went to Mr. Liss. And he got to Sully. And now I gotta get to you. And teach you some manners the hard way.
Wait a minute. You gotta listen. It's important. Really important.
Okay, kid. What is it?
There's this guy I saw snooping around the village.
Yeah, what guy?
Sam Harrison's his name. He's staying with Gus Garver. He's been checking out something to do with the construction. I don't know what he's after, but it can't be too good. He's too damn interested in something. I've seen him twice.
I got the message. I'll pass it along.
Think there was something?
Oh, sure, kid. I'll make it quick. Oh, yeah. or next time. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Liz. The kid promises to behave himself. Hey, come on, I'm a pro, remember? You ain't got a mark on him. He's gonna have a little trouble sitting up in the morning. No, he knows he could have wound up in the hospital, so he ain't complaining. Oh, another thing, it may be nothing. I figure the kid's trying to borrow time. But he says there's some guy snooping around the condo, checking out construction and things like that. Yeah, a guy named Harrison. Junior says he's staying with a guy named Carver. Yeah. Sure, Mr. Les, sure. Yeah, I'll check it out. As long as I'm there, I'll check it out real good.
You do that, Vic. Are you sure your husband is presiding over the county council meeting?
Of course I'm sure. He called just a little while ago and told me he'd be late. Don't I always make sure that he's gone before I ask you to come over?
Where are we going to set this down?
Oh, I don't know. Why don't we go over here and you can sit and tell Molly how much you missed her.
Oh, come on, Molly. You're going to spill the booze now.
Oh, so we can make more. What is it, Marty?
What is what?
I don't know. Somehow you don't seem as interested as usual.
Well, sure I am, kitten. It's just... Well, it's just I got a lot on my mind.
Oh, the Harbor Point project.
Well, for one of the things. Say, has Justin told you how much he's going to need?
Oh, honey. Do we have to discuss money right now?
Well, I was just wondering.
Oh, that made my toesies tingle.
Just your toesies?
Oh, maybe a few other things, too. No, Marty, what you're asking Justin to do is very risky.
I know.
I mean, if it ever leaked out, he could go to jail.
Well, it wouldn't exactly be a party for me either.
I know, but...
The risk's a part of it, Molly. I mean, after all, you can't have all of this by playing it safe. You know, I was figuring that $25,000 ought to swing it.
$25,000?
Well, maybe 30 tops.
You're talking crazy talk, Marty. Well, Justin wouldn't do it for a penny less than $50,000 cash.
That seems pretty steep.
Well, after all, it was you who had him pass that dumb density ordinance code in the first place, so no one else could build on Fiddler Key.
Yeah, I know, but...
All right, then. Don't get sore just because you got bit by your own greed.
Oh, Molly, I'm not sore. How can I be sore? Feeling the way I do about you and spending these lovely afternoons with you. Why, hell, I almost feel that $50,000 is too reasonable.
You know, I thought Carrie looked a lot better tonight, didn't you?
Did you? You're not just saying that.
No, I really thought she did.
Maybe you're right. God knows, I'm hoping so hard. I don't know what I know.
What I'm just imagining. Well, if you don't get a move on it, we're going to be late.
Oh, we don't have a problem. We don't live on a time schedule down here, you know. There we are.
You sure I'm not going to be intruding up there, guys?
Oh, come on. Lee and I have this deal where we play backgammon a couple times a week when he's feeling well. I told him you were going to be staying with me, and he said bring you along. Besides, you and Barbara can keep company while we
we play.
Who's Barbara?
His wife.
Well, this sounds like it's going to be a real fun evening.
You got anything better to do?
I guess not.
Let's go.
Come in, it's open.
Hello, Lee.
Hello, Gus.
Look, don't get up. Don't get up.
How you doing?
Well, there seems to be some improvement. I certainly hope so. How you feeling?
That's a subject I try not to dwell on. You know that. You must be Sam Harrison, Lee Messenger.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Messenger. I'm hoping I'm not intruding, but you know Gus, he insisted.
Not at all. We're delighted to have you join us. And make that Lee, will you? We're very informal around here.
All right.
You must have a way with dogs, Sam. Duffy acts like you're an old friend.
He is. He saved Duffy's life this morning. At least he tried to.
No kidding. Well, what happened?
Let's don't go into that.
All right, I won't. Barbara Messenger.
Sam Harrison, it's real nice to meet you.
Duffy, back in your box. Come on.
Well, since you won't tell us what happened this morning, I suggest we all have a drink.
Okay, what's your pleasure? We have scotch. Damn. I thought I'd turn that monster off for the evening. Well, I might as well see what they want, huh?
Take Sam with you. He might find it rather interesting.
Yeah, I'll hustle up the drinks.
Thanks. Come on, Sam.
This is some setup you got here.
Yeah, we really need it down here. Pays for itself at least once a week.
Well, why would you... Lee Messenger. He wouldn't happen to be the same Lee Grant DeWitt Messenger as in LDM International, would he?
Didn't Gus tell you?
No, he didn't. But what would someone like him, I mean, like the two of you, be doing in a place like this?
Well, that's a long story. Excuse me for just 1 minute.
Sure.
You know, Lee, sometimes I think I trained Sam too well. He's only been here 1 day, and already he's telling me what a lousy job they did putting this place up. As if an old pro like me doesn't know shoddy construction when he sees it.
Is he good?
Well, Sam's one of the best. He's got 3 to 5 years commitments in backlogs already. Of course, he works too hard. But then we all do.
Or did.
It was Zurich. They insisted on closing the deal tonight, so I closed it.
At 65 million?
No, 50. You were getting too anxious. They sensed it.
Good girl. You see, you're not the only one with a talented protege. Gus has been telling me that you think this building might fall down on us.
It might, Lee.
Oh, come on, Sam. It can't be that bad.
It could be.
You can't be serious.
But I am. Look, Lee, Gus is a damn good engineer. And he's probably forgotten more about certain things in some areas than I'll ever know. But I've specialized since I worked for him.
Specialized? How?
In hydrology. That's water. Wave action, tidal surges. See, I get paid to build things that water can't knock down.
Are you saying that Silver Sands is not safe?
Not during a hurricane, it wouldn't be.
If a hurricane knocks this place over, it'd have to be the great-granddaddy of them all.
Yeah, well, not necessarily, Gus.
Well, how big a hurricane would it take?
Well, I can't tell you that. Well, at least without doing a geological analysis of the ground it sits on. And knowing the contour of the bottom out there in the Gulf. Could present a real problem.
Well, a hurricane, I suppose, is as acceptable a way to go as any other.
Are you serious? That doesn't bother you?
Not really, Sam. Death is a tedious race anyway. I mean, no one ever beats the odds. At least with Gus here, I have a chance to win at something.
You mean I'm going to have to beat your tail at backgammon just to prove my superior intelligence?
That'll be the day. Carlene, why don't you and Sam go out on the balcony and keep each other company until this slaughter is over?
Oh, Lee, must you play tonight? I mean, after all, we do have a guest.
No, Sam's not a guest. He's a friend of mine. Besides, you don't want to see a grown billionaire cry, do you?
I think they're trying to get rid of us.
Yes, it looks that way.
I can take a hint. After you, Barbara.
Okay, roll a die.
It sure is nice out here.
Yes, it is. It's very peaceful.
Is that why Lee picked this place?
Lee didn't pick this place. We both did. And, for a lot of reasons.
I wasn't prying. I was just curious. Just wouldn't expect to find a man like Lee Messenger holed up in a place like this.
Or find him married to a woman 30 years younger than he is?
Hey, come on. I mean, I'm just a sweet guy passing through town. Would you put down your guns, huh?
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm just a little touchy. Look, why don't we change the subject, huh?
All right.
What does a hotshot hydrologist like you do for laughs?
Water ski a little bit?
You don't.
I'll try.
And the danger he suggests could have some truth in it.
Well, I'm not convinced that Sam's right. But he's no alarmist. If he says the evidence exists, it exists, but then he hasn't had a chance to evaluate the problem.
What would you do if the building were unsafe?
I don't know. Hope, as they do in earthquake country, the big one never hits. I know that sounds crazy coming from me, but Sam's right about one thing. I'm emotionally committed.
Well, the funny thing is, I thought they were expecting me. So when this guide in the Land Rover comes and picks me up, I don't think that there's anything wrong. Not until we get back to the village. Then all the natives are yelling and saying how brave I am for going after this man-eater. Well, that's when I realized that they thought I was this government hunter.
Oh, what did you do then?
I mean, besides run.
Yeah.
Your turn, Lee.
Oh, sorry.
Hello? Roberta. This is Lori Higby.
Hi, Lori.
Listen, I was wondering if you could do me a favor.
Well, I'll try.
It's Julian. He's hurt himself and he won't let me call a doctor. I was wondering if, maybe you can come over and take a look at him.
Well, sure, why not? I'll be right there.
Thanks.
What the hell are you doing here?
Julian, I asked Roberta to come to see if she can help you.
I don't need any help from anyone.
Oh, stop being so damn macho. What happened?
He, fell from a stepladder onto his stomach.
Mm-hmm. Well, you really should have yourself x-rayed, Julian.
Why, nothing's busted.
How do you know? Let me take a look and see if I can find anything obvious. Unfortunately. Sorry, guess I shouldn't have said that.
Why not? You have the right, considering...
Look, Lori, I guess I owe you some kind of an apology. After all, Julian is your husband, and
No, it's all right. Look, I don't blame you. You're not the first. Not by a long shot. It's just that, I still love Julian. But he doesn't fool me. My husband is really a first-class louse.
Don't I know it? Hey, kid, hey, cut it out. It's not worth it. No man is.
I feel so used.
Ain't that the truth? Look, I tell you what. Why don't you come up to my place? We'll have a couple of belts, huh? Huh? It'll ease the pain.
What about Julian?
What about him?
You're right. To hell with him, let's go.
What'd you think of Lee?
Thought he was a good guy.
Yeah.
A guy with his wealth, he seemed like a real regular up-front man.
Yeah. What about Barbara?
Yeah, she seemed very special.
What?
Yeah, I was just thinking. That woman's deep. She's complicated.
What way?
Well, a lot of ways. She's very defensive for one thing, and very guarded about what she says for another.
She seemed friendly enough to you.
Well, she's friendly to me. But I felt like she was holding back. Like she had a lot of emotions that she was afraid to show. But at the same time...
What?
Well, at the same time, I felt like she really wanted to be herself. I mean, she really wanted to be herself and open up to me. Kind of crazy, huh?
Well, she's very devoted to Lee.
Well, Lee's a very lucky man.
Be lucky dying man.
Now, what's that supposed to mean?
It's confidential, but Lee's got maybe 6 months left. That's why they're living here.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
Because it's their business.
Well, then why'd you tell me now? You mean to tell me that you thought I was going to make a play for Barbara?
What'd you say?
Hey, Gus, listen, you and I have always leveled with one another. I'm going to cut it right to the meat. I've never gone after another man's wife, and it's unlikely I ever will, all right?
That's good enough for me. To the windmills.
And to the spindly-legged guys that keep trying to knock them down.
Oh, thanks.
Tired?
No more than usual. Enjoy the evening?
Not especially.
I'd have thought you'd find Sam Harrison interesting.
Oh, I find what he does rather fascinating. I'm not at all sure what he is.
Quite an observation. I wonder if he's right about this building going if there were a hurricane.
Well, he says he can't tell for sure unless he does some more research.
He's going to be here for 2 weeks. I wonder if he'd be interested enough to do a study for us.
Well, Lee, if it worries you so much, why don't we just simply move?
And if a hurricane did hit and flatten this building, how could we live with that on our consciences? Don't you think we owe the other owners a warning at least?
I guess. But you're up to something, Lee. You never cared all that much about the other owners before. How come this sudden turnaround now?
No special reason, really.
Just suddenly turned noble, at it?
I'll accept that.
Well, I won't. Not when you're so obvious.
If you're referring to yourself, is it so wrong to want to protect someone you love?
Protect is one thing. Playing Cupid is quite another. And there is nothing Sam Harrison has that I want or need.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you do. Damn it all, Lee. Only yesterday you told me you don't believe in playing God with other people's lives. Now, doesn't that include me? Oh, I've made my choice. I couldn't be happier with it. Or with you.
Nor I with you, darling. I'm getting tired. If you don't mind, I think I'll go to bed.
Caro, if I ever roll over at night and get hooked in the butts by one of those nasties, you will wish you would have never even heard of fishing.
That's butt, my love. Butt, not butts.
Picky. You're always so picky. Anyway, how you can fast with those fiddly little things at a time like this?
What exactly do you mean at a time like this?
Do not give me that Henry Church bridge. Ma guarda che ti conosco bene. After 30 years of government hanky-panky, who around here would know better what to do?
Do? Do about what?
But do not give me about what. You know what I mean. This fooling around with the assessment business. I do not like it, and what's more, I do not intend that we will put up with it.
Well, why don't we just move out? I'm ready to leave anytime.
That's not true, and you know it. You're just trying to avoid doing anything about it.
Well, why don't you let me avoid it in peace, my love?
Impassion, never, caro. Involvement keeps you alive. It's invigorating.
When I was working for the agency, you said it might get me killed.
Ah, ma non è la stessa cosa. Those hat and dagger boys.
Cloak.
And anyway, it wouldn't be at all like overthrowing the government. For you, it would be like nothing to really fix them good.
Fix who?
Good. You are interested. Who is what you will find out. And if I knew who, I would do it myself, no? Oh. Henry Church.
Good morning.
Morning.
How's the water?
It's terrific. Hey, listen about last night.
What about last night?
Well, I hope I didn't make you feel uncomfortable. I'm just not very good at... What's so funny?
I was just about to make the same apology to you. Lee thought over what you talked about last night. You know, about the hurricane danger. He thinks it might be worth looking into.
He does? That's funny. He didn't seem very interested.
Well, sometimes it's difficult to tell what interests Lee, or even what he's thinking about. Anyway, he wondered if you'd be interested in making a real study. For a fee, of course.
Yeah, I'd be very interested. Whose idea was this, yours or Lee's?
Oh, this was all Lee's idea. To tell the truth, I don't see much point in it. It's sort of like rattling gravestones.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Well, you can name your own fee. Shall I tell Lee that you'll accept it?
I didn't say I'd do it.
No, you didn't.
Well, let's put it this way, Barbara. I'll only do the study if you agree.
Oh, that's ridiculous. What possible reason could you have for needing my approval?
Well, let's just say I hate split decisions. If you're interested, meet me down here in an hour, and I'll take you and show you some of the things I was talking about.
All right, you've got a deal.
Doing? Well, she's fine.
Oh, are you going to bring her home soon,
No,
maybe?
not yet for a while.
Oh, but she is improving.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good news. Oh, Gus, I really hate to bother you, but I really got to talk to you.
About what?
Well, you know me, Gus. I'm not a complainer. But we've got to do something about those damn washing machines.
What about him?
It's the noise, Gus. The noise. They're like 747s taking off. And on top of that, the people are using those machines all hours of the night, completely ignoring the 10 o'clock curfew. And we live right next door to the damn laundry
Look,
room.
Holly, I hear what you're saying. And I'll look into it and see what I can do about it, all right?
You will? That's
Sure.
great.
Be happy.
You know, I told Max, if there's one guy we can depend upon to get anything done around here, it's Gus. Well, see you later, and give Carolyn my best.
Same to Mac.
All right, this is the kind of thing I was talking to you about. It's a perfect example of sloppy concrete work and poor planning.
How do you mean?
Well, see this joint here? See how the concrete's cracking? Well, the joint was carelessly prepared and badly located. Come on over here. Watch your step. Now, you get enough cracks like this, it's going to impair the strength of the entire structure. Watch your step. Come on over here.
So who's the broad? Mrs. Messenger. Her husband's much older now. Hardly ever leaves the apartment. I think he's sick. Okay. I'll handle it from here.
Why is that, Mrs. Condo?
Well, I don't want to be a nuisance, but...
Oh, it's all right. Go right ahead.
Well, it's those naughty birds again.
Naughty birds?
Yes. You see, it's that time of year, and they're all nesting in the garage over my car. I know the little darlings have to go to the bathroom somewhere, but on my car...
Well, I see what you're saying. I'll look into it, Mrs. Condo. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Mr. Garver.
You'll excuse me, Mrs. Condo. I'll let it get dried off.
I'm hoping to liven up my tan a bit.
Well, I mean here in the condominium.
I moved in. Temporarily, of course, till they sell the unit.
Wouldn't be a little reconnaissance mission for friendly Mr. Liss, would it?
No, it's nothing of the sort, Mr. Garber. Free use of a vacant apartment is one of my fringe benefits.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. And besides, why would Marty want to spy on you? If that's what you're inferring. After all, he has no legal connection with the building any longer.
Well, no connection that we know of, that is.
No connection, period. That's a recorded fact. You know, I think that you've misjudged Marty. And me. Whether you believe it or not, we're really nothing more than concerned people. Have a nice day.
Miss Byrne. Look, maybe I kind of overreacted. Friends?
Only if you call me Drew.
Well, that's easy. Drew it is.
Okay, Gus. We're friends.
Yeah.
Can we have a little talk, Mr. Harris?
About what? Go ahead, Mr.
Hey, names ain't important. What is important is what you're doing around here.
I'm a guest. How about you?
Ah, come on. Guests don't go snooping around like you've been doing.
Look, I don't know who you are or what you want. But unless you have a badge, this conversation is over. Excuse me.
Are you trying to rip off the coin box or something?
No, ma'am. I'm from the phone company. I'm trying to fix the phone.
What's wrong with it?
It doesn't work.
Oh. Well, I guess you better fix it then.
Why don't you come over and join me for a drink? So I said, would you give me a break? I mean, I was in...
Look, Lori, honey, I've got to run. Gotta be back at the hospital in 30 minutes.
Hi, Roberta.
Hello, Julian. How are you feeling?
Not so hot.
No? Well, you'll probably be sore for a couple of days. Try and stay active, though. Be 10 times worse if you let the muscles stiffen. Bye, Lori.
Bye, Bobby.
Bobby?
Yes. She prefers it to Roberta. But then again, I'm not telling you anything new now, am I?
Don't be so damn smart, Laurie. What was she doing here anyway?
She was talking to me. I like her.
Yeah? Well, maybe I'm not so sure I like her hanging around.
I could understand why it might bother you, sweetheart. But quite frankly, I don't give a damn whether you like it or not.
How come you accepted Lee's offer? I mean, I thought you were going to knock off work for the next couple of weeks.
I was. My first reaction was to tell Barbara no. Then I started thinking about all those people that were living here and how uninformed they were and what kind of dangerous construction work guys like this Liz are getting away with. It just got to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Meaning what?
Look, maybe I'm on kind of tricky ground, but I thought you might be using it just to hang out with Barbara.
I thought we talked about this once before. I told you I don't fool around with other guys' wives.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Pat. Just forget I said that, huh?
Yeah. On one condition. That you let me do the cooking from here on out.
Yeah, that's right, Mr. Liss. I checked him out like you said. He sure is snooping around here looking for something.
That's okay, Vic. You go on back to Miami. I'll handle it from here. No, he's probably some local inspector. No problem. Right. Bye.
What was that all about?
I'm not sure. But I don't like it.
Problems?
Problems. That's my middle name. Without it, I'd be bored to death. But it's no worry of yours.
Worry? I don't worry. I just wonder a lot.
Like, I wonder if planting Drew at Silver Sands was such a hot idea.
Why not? She can take care of herself.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, but nothing. Hell, in a week's time, she's going to have that Gus Gava running her for vice president of the Homeowners Association. Vice! You get that? Yeah. I sure put her on. The Honorable Mrs. Denver. Hello, Molly, honey. I'm fine. Well, sure. No, the sooner the better. All right. Bye, darling. Yeah, she wants me to rush right over with the money.
Sounds like Justin got the permits.
Well, I sure ain't gonna pay her for anything else she's offering.
Well, I'm ready to move whenever you say.
Now, you sit tight till you hear from me. Man, the things I do for progress. I missed you, baby.
Oh, missed you too. Did you bring the money?
This ain't exactly ballast.
Ooh, give it to me. Justin says everything's go. But be sure and start clearing tomorrow. Since it's Saturday, you can get the whole job done and nobody can do anything about it.
Hey, terrific. Let me call Drew and Cole.
Can't it wait?
For what? Oh, hey, relax, honey. I'm only kidding. Only kidding. Just take a second.
I just don't see why you're so angry.
Damn it, Velma. You know, you'd be angry, too, if I kept refusing to do the things you like.
But you do.
What?
It's true. I've asked you hundreds of times to come look at the plants and the wildlife.
The plants and the wildlife? Ooh. Do you think I can stand the excitement? Ooh.
You don't have to be mean, Jack.
Oh. Jack's being mean. Oh. Goodness gracious. Oh, the plants and the wildlife. What do you think I am, a closet naturalist? What's the use? You marry a child, you get a child's mentality.
What's all that noise?
Good morning, darling.
What's going on here?
Look for yourself. What, dear? What is all that?
Well, it looks as if our building is going to have a neighbor.
Ah, no. They cannot do that.
They're doing it.
Yes, and you know why? Because people like you don't do anything about things.
Well, why is it suddenly my fault?
Do not pretend with me that you do not know.
We are not sure that Marty-Liss is behind all this.
We do not know for sure. Do you care to place a tiny little bet with me?
You know that I don't bet on anything but myself.
What?
Oh, my God. Thelma.
What about Thelma?
The jungle. It was her whole life. Do you have any idea what this could do to her? Hold on a second. Hi, fellas. Come on in.
What's going on?
Have you seen it?
Seen what?
The jungle. They're tearing it out.
Who's tearing it out? Why?
Marty Liss. It seems they pulled a sneak play on us. They're going to build another condo right in our own backyard. The point is, what are we going to do about it?
Well, I don't know. What can we do about it? I don't know.
Gary, you have anything new on that low-pressure area off Cape Verde?
Yep. It's been building up very nicely. And it's just starting to move northwest.
Looks like a real good one building. Guess it's about time we give her a name, huh?
Checked the whole thing out, and it's all true. Liz has all the permits he needs. So in 6 months, we'll be living with a carbon copy of this building right over there.
But we were all told when we bought that nobody would ever be able to build another condo on this key.
Then I imagine he spent a few dollars in the right places to change all that.
Without a doubt.
Well, maybe it's time for us to move on.
Just when things are getting interesting, I wouldn't dream of it. Besides, if Sam proves his theory, I imagine we'll put quite a crimp in Liz's plan. I wouldn't want to miss that. How long will it take you?
Not more than a couple days. Once I do a survey of the Gulf out there, get some geological data on Fiddler Key itself, some stats on probable hurricane tracks, should complete it in no time at all.
Would our computer be of any help to speed things up?
I don't know, Barbara. I don't know what it's hooked into.
Why don't you two go and ask it?
Right now?
Why not?
Why not, indeed? Come on, Sam.
They should work well together, don't you think?
Lee.
Oh, tell me you're worried about my honor, Gus.
I was thinking you might be making some problems for them. Problems they might not be able to handle.
She wasn't meant to be alone. Somebody's got to come after me. Sam would do very nicely, don't you think?
I think you ought to let Barbara work it out for herself, when and if she needs to.
I don't agree. Her future's too important to me. I wouldn't want to go leaving it that wide open.
Neat, orderly mind of yours. Look, if you really want to nail things down, why don't you leave them to each other in your will?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Conlaw.
Oh, that's all right. My fault anyway. Oh, Mr. Garver.
Yeah, I can't talk right now.
I know you're going to the hospital. That's what I wanted to say. Give my best to Mrs. Garver and tell her that we all miss her.
I will. Thank you, Mrs. Conlaw.
Hi, Drew.
Hi there.
How are you?
Looks like you've got a little problem.
Yeah, I do, and I'm supposed to be at the hospital in 10 minutes.
Well, I'm going to Athens if it'll help.
Oh, that's okay. I can fix it.
No, come on. The hospital's on the way.
You sure it's okay?
Absolutely, no problem.
All right.
No, Sonny, it's like I keep telling you. I don't want to move down to Miami and move in with you. I like being on my own. Just a second, operator. It's like I said, I like being on my own. And all the people down here are so nice and friendly. Why, just today, I was watering the plants in the lobby, and that nice Mr. Garver came along, and we had quite a little chat. Oh, he's a lovely man. He's so nice.
Thanks for the ride, Drew.
You're welcome. Gus,
Yeah.
I think you're forgetting something.
Like what?
Like, how are you going to get back?
Oh, yeah, no wheels. Look, if you don't mind waiting.
Wouldn't mind at all.
Come on.
Would you like me to come with you?
No, thanks. I'll only be a few minutes.
Dr. Kaufman to X-ray. Dr. Kaufman to X-ray. Dr. Marcus, admissions desk.
Sorry we have to eat in the cafeteria, but I only have an hour.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just glad you called.
So am I.
And so the latest on Hurricane Ella is that her track has taken her past the island of Martinique, where her winds exceeding 120 miles per hour have caused extensive damage to the eastern end of that island. In Washington today, Operation...
Treating you okay, Mouse? Said, are they treating you okay? You let me know if they don't, huh? I'll take care of it. What was I gonna tell you? Oh, yeah, you should see your plants. I'm taking care of them, watering them. They could probably use a woman's touch, but seem to be doing real fine. Miss you, Max. The place is so quiet, so empty without you. But I'm gonna have you out of here before long. And I promise you, we'll make up for all that. Hell, we're gonna go so many places, see so many things. Folks will think we're newlyweds. Where's your nurse? She's supposed to be in here with your shot by now. Has this ever happened before, Carey? I don't think you're living with me, Miles. Yeah, I'm gonna go and find out where that nurse has gone. You just stay relaxed, and I'll be right back.
Dr. Rogers needed in surgery. Dr. Rogers needed in surgery.
I would like to know why my wife is being neglected.
Mr. Garver, this hospital does not neglect its patients.
Is that so? Well, let me clue you into something, Doctor. I was worried about my wife, and I wanted to check a few things out with the duty nurse, but I couldn't.
What do you mean you couldn't?
She wasn't there. The nurse was not at her desk in ICU, where there's supposed to be someone on duty at all times.
But that's impossible.
That's exactly what I thought. But she wasn't there, and I had to wait for her for 5 minutes. Now, that's 5 minutes in which my wife or anyone else in ICU could have died.
I'll certainly investigate that.
Well, you certainly should, Doctor. After all, it is your responsibility.
Don't you think I know that? But I'm one man here. I can't do everything.
Well, I'm not suggesting that you can, or that you should.
You may think it's easy to run a hospital. It isn't. I'm a doctor, not a damned administrator. On top of that, I'm over budget, understaffed. Don't have the money to pay for the proper personnel.
Enough said, Doctor. I understand. I've been in almost the same position myself. Look, why don't you let me help you out? I've run some big jobs on small money. I went over budget and had to keep things moving. Sometimes the answers are simple, but it takes an outsider to see them.
Well, you may be right.
There'll be no money. If that's what's worrying, I'd just look over your operation and maybe make a few recommendations that might make things a little easier for you.
Well, let me think about it.
It's a deal, then. Good. Thank you, Doctor.
What you did in there was pretty terrific.
Guy needs help, that's all. God knows we've got time to spare.
Time for a bite?
Well, I don't know. I was kind of...
Well, you better have dinner, don't you? I do. Is it so bad for two people to have dinner together?
Of course not. Come on. I figured I'd built just about one bridge too many. Maybe it was time to hang it up. Not just for Carrie, for me.
But you hate it, don't you? Being retired.
I didn't say that.
No, not in words you didn't. But look at you. You're president of the Homeowners Association, fighting with Marty. Now you can't wait to take over that poor doctor's hospital and run it for him.
No, I was just trying to help out, that's all.
Sure you were, Gus. Come on, don't kid yourself. I saw that gleam in your eye back there. And in Marty's office. Look, you're a vital, attractive man. And it's obvious at the moment that you're bored out of your mind.
Not at the moment. I'm not.
Well, thank you, kind sir. That's very flattering.
You're a very stimulating woman, too.
As stimulating as a new bridge or dam?
And if I were younger, not much younger.
You're young enough, Gus. Age is all in your mind anyway.
If I didn't know better, I'd think you were trying to tell me something.
I am.
Hot and heavy. You had to see me right away.
I just talked to Drew. You know, she's been seeing a lot of Gus Garver.
So? I thought that was a game plan.
I'm not worried about Gus. It's that buddy of his, Sam Harrison. Now, according to Drew, Gus claims that he's one of those engineering geniuses.
So he's a genius. What's the problem?
Now, you just put that together with what Julian told Vic, and Vic has seen for himself, and we could find ourselves in one hell of a mess.
I don't like the way I think your mind's going.
You just think about it. What would happen to both of us if the boys from Miami found out how we shortchanged them on the Silver Sands construction costs?
They could be very unhappy, I guess, huh?
That's just putting it mildly. Now, Harrison could blow the whistle on us just like that.
So?
So we're gonna blow the whistle on him first.
Now, you see where the water changes color out there?
Yes.
Well, depending on the contour of the bottom, the pileup can result in a very large wave surge.
How large?
Well, 10 to 30 feet. Depends on the force of the wind and how sharp the bottom curves up.
That's a lot of water.
And that's a lot of force. And that force will bash itself against this building. Now, given a big enough surge, it will take out any structure.
Well, then no building's really safe.
Well, theoretically, no. But there are realistic limitations to how big a surge can get. The problem here is to figure out how big a surge it'd take to knock this building out.
I'm impressed. I am really impressed. And, I hate to admit it, but, I'm a little bit scared.
Well, you got good reason to be. You study wave action long enough, you find out that water's one of nature's most destructive weapons. Now, come the day that a good hurricane comes in this direction. Well, when it's over, I doubt if there'll be anything left of this place.
I'm convinced.
Well, now, don't give in so easy. I just started. Another factor is soil composition.
What's the latest on Ella? She's really starting to hustle.
What's her position?
12 degrees, 30 minutes north, 43 degrees west. Winds are 100 knots.
Looks like we might have another David on our hands, huh?
Yeah. God help us if she decides to come ashore.
drive.
Over what distance?
About 30 yards.
Whew. Do come up fast.
Sure do. Well, I think we got enough data. I'm going to head her on in.
Aye, sir.
Watch your step. Sure. Well, that contour survey should just about wrap it up.
Any conclusion?
Well, I'm going to have to do some figuring first, but one thing's obvious. What we know of the composition of the key, our man Liss had to pay off someone but good.
Why pay off?
Well, no engineer in his right mind would ever issue a permit to build a structure on this site.
Well, then we've got Liss.
Oh.
Oh, Sam, that's great. You think we can prove it?
Well, we're going to try.
And then what happens afterwards?
Well, I'm an engineer. I'm not an attorney. It's something that Lee and Gus and association owners will have to deal with.
While you go off on another project.
Oh, Barbara, now don't make it sound like I'm walking out on everybody. I've done my job. There's no reason for me to hang around here. Or is there?
Sam, about Lee and me,
I don't think we should be talking about you and Lee, Barbara. It's none of my business.
Oh, it's important to me. I want you to understand.
Well, what's there to understand?
Let's not play that kind of game with each other.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead and tell me what you were going to tell me.
I was married before I ever met Lee. My husband and my little girl. Well, there was a fire, and they were both. You see, I was out shopping, and when I got home, they were. But I just quit living. I guess I sort of shriveled up inside. Then, after a while, I got a job working for Lee. He found out about what happened.
And he married you?
Oh, no, it wasn't like that at all. He brought me back to life. He loaded me up with more and more work. He made me play way above my head so that I didn't have time to feel sorry for myself. Do you understand what I'm saying? He saved my life.
So you feel you owe him?
Oh, no, it's not like that at all. I love him. I love that wonderful old man. And now,
Now I think maybe we should get back to work. Why don't you read me those figures one more time?
Yeah.
They don't look like ducks to me.
It's all right, but I think you both should see this.
Come on.
I don't know which of you two he was after, but I'm sure the police could persuade him.
Well, are you all right?
Oh, I'm fine. A little rusty, this. But he isn't much of a pro, as pros go.
Well, I think I know who he was after and why.
Good. Tell me about it later. I think you two ought to get inside. He might have a friend out here.
What are you going to do about him?
Him? Oh, I think I'll turn him over to Brooks Ames. Good old Ames. This'll positively make his week.
Well, come on, let's go.
Oh, there is one other thing, Doc. I looked over those bids for interior painting that you mentioned. They all seemed awfully high to me.
What isn't these days?
Yeah, the old inflation. There are ways around it. I checked out the Palm County retirement home. They've got some retired painters there who could use some activity. We could hire them, let our maintenance men do the ladder work, and let them paint the low places. That'd give them something useful to do, and it'd save us maybe a couple $100.
Good idea, Gus. Anything else?
No, I think that's about it now, Arthur. If you need me, I'll be with Carey. By the way, Gus.
Dr. Marcus, admissions desk.
Thanks.
Dr. Marcus, admissions desk.
Sam says he can't have his best girl looking drab when he sees her. He wants you to be sure to be wearing this tomorrow for his visit. How you like it? Look, I'll leave it right here for you. I'll tell the nurse on my way out that you'll be one to wear. Gotta go now, Miles. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't you be getting up after I'm gone and chasing those handsome doctors, man.
That Ella, still gathering strength and moving at about 15 miles an hour, is once again changed course and reported headed for the eastern end of the Dominican Republic. In brief, beer and wine tax receipts were up for the 9 months ending in June, according to the IRS. The total alcoholic beverage tax receipts were up.
I'm sorry I'm late. Castor had more problems than a one-legged tap dancer.
North Carolina doing?
About the same. The doc says that no change is good sometimes, but I don't know.
Well, you have to give it time.
I guess I just don't have a choice.
You feel like eating?
Sure.
Come on. Booting will get you nothing.
And eating will get me fat.
That's true.
So when I asked him why someone was trying to kill him, he said what he was working on might prove that this building could be a disaster in a hurricane.
Oh, my goodness. And you think he's qualified to make such a statement?
Very qualified, probably the best there is.
Oh, well, then that's it.
That's what?
Your evidence against Mr. Lees.
What are you talking about?
Matteo, caro. Am I talking to a bambino? Sam's expertise, of course. If what he says is true, then this Mr. Lees has committed many crimes to get this place built, huh?
You're probably right.
I'm probably right, and you'll prove it, too.
Well, I have no choice. I've got to do something.
Oh, I have waited much time to drive a staple into Mr. Lee's heart.
That's steak, my love, not staple.
Whatever. Just so it hurts.
Well, what it boils down to is very simple, Lee. This building would probably go into Category 2 hurricane. In a Category 3, it's a dead certainty you could write this place off.
Ma scusatemi, I don't understand. What is this Category 2, Category 3?
A hurricane is a tropical storm in excess of 75 miles an hour. Now, that's a number 1. A 2 is over 100 miles an hour. A 3 over 130.
And there's still 2 higher categories, right?
Right. There's a 4, which is 150, and a 5, which is 165.
It sounds frightening. What do we do?
Well, you can get out of here, or else spend a couple $1 million reinforcing this building and building yourself a seawall.
Why a seawall if the wind could knock this building down?
Well, it's not the wind that's the problem. It's the reaction it has on the water.
Now, the bottom out there curves up very fast, and that compression will cause a wave surge. And 100-plus winds, with no barrier to break up that wave surge, will it take this building out like it was made out of cardboard.
I see. How long did it take to build a seawall?
Well, we might have the time. What about the money, Lee? Most of the owners of these condominiums can't afford to move, let alone build a seawall.
Marty, Liz could do it.
Ma cosa, I would like to see that day.
Well, maybe you will. After all, we know he bribed someone in order to build this condo in the first place.
Well, you can believe that. Now all you have to do is prove it.
All right, we sue them, get our money back, or make him make this place safe.
That seems to be the extent of our options.
And that would be my Enrique's job, to prove that there was funny business. He's very good at things like that. Non è vero?
My favorite fans.
Well, Henry, if anyone can do it, I think you can.
Thank you, Lee. The least I can do is try to match Sam and Barbara's achievements.
Oh, don't include me in that. All I did was make notes.
Come on. You helped a lot, Barbara, and you learned very quickly.
Who did what doesn't matter. It's the results that count, and you produced them.
Right. Now, how about lunch? Who wants one of my famous grilled cheese and tomato sandwiches?
I think we're all ready now. Maybe a bottle or two of Chablis.
Yes, now you're playing with sunshine. Cara, vuoi che io ti aiuto? I help you.
You bet.
Yes.
Help.
Ebbene, what can I do, Barbara?
Well, let's see. You can slice this up. The knife's in the drawer right there.
Drawer here. Oh, poverino, mangia che ti fa bene.
Oh, don't let Duffy move. She's a total pig.
He doesn't look it. That's is one very attractive package.
Suppose so.
You only suppose. That's pretty vague, considering the lights that shine whenever you look at each other.
Lights? What are you talking about?
Oh, Barbara, we are women, no, and women shouldn't try to, what's the motion, know each other, especially where men are concerned.
I really don't know what you're talking about.
Then I'll make it sparkling clear. One should have to be blind not to see that you and Sam are very much, how should I say, very much vibrating together.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I'm happily married.
Who speaks of marriage?
Are you implying that I sleep around?
Barbara, would I say a thing like that? Never. I only meant that if you ever need a sympathetic ear, mine is always available.
Well, thanks. But fortunately, that hasn't and won't become a problem.
Well, then, conceded business, completely chiuso, tutto finito, closed. However, the next time you go researching and you find yourselves behind some dusty bookshelves, give him a squeeze for me.
Latest report I've got, they're counting the dead at Santo Domingo and estimating the dead at Port-au-Prince. God, I hope she doesn't turn this way.
We interrupt this program to bring you the latest report on Hurricane Ella. Satellite photographs show this latest storm is now moving slowly northward and is, at the moment, just south of Cuba. Her future track is still a matter of speculation.